Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug, and today we're going to make a new Christmas wreath for our front door for Christmas, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Christmas wreaths have ancient roots. They actually date back to pre-Christian times in ancient Rome. By the time Christianity spread, the wreath really took on new meaning. By the Middle Ages, Christmas in Europe began using wreaths at Advent time, and they would weave evergreens into circular shapes, symbolizing eternal life and the unending cycle of the seasons. The circular shape represented eternity and everlasting life brought by Jesus Christ. The Christmas wreath over time became a household tradition, particularly in the 16th century in Germany, where the Advent wreath, as we know it today with the candles and the evergreen, really took off. So today we are going to make a Christmas wreath for our front door, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and pick up some ideas for your own front door or making a wreath. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to need to make this type of wreath. Now this is so easy because I'm already using a ready-made wreath. You can buy a foam wreath, and you can incorporate picks that are evergreens and go around, but I just found it a little bit easier to use an existing wreath that I already had. So I'm repurposing this wreath. The reason why I'm repurposing it, this is the wreath that I got at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago, and I really liked it, but the one that I chose for my living room in the living room on the fireplace, I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to have the red berries, and I liked the way the other one looked. So this one I thought, well, I don't want to throw it away because it's still good, you know? So I thought, let me redecorate it, and I'm gonna add it to my front door. So what I love about the wreath already, like I said, it's a grapevine wreath. Look at that. It has the evergreens already in there, and then also some red berries and little pine cones. So I'm just going to embellish it a little bit more, change it up just a little bit, and I'm going to add it to my front door. So the wreaths that I usually use on my front door, I don't save them every year. It depends, depending on the weather, how the weather has hit it and affected it. It is a covered, we have a very small little front porch, and it is covered, but sometimes the way the rain might hit, or you know, insects or something might get on it. So it depends on what kind of shape it is after the season. So don't forget, this is Texas, so we have a little crazy weather. You know, it could be warm at Christmas time, or it could be super cold. I think what we're going to do is just fix this wreath up and add it to our front door, and then we'll see if it's in okay shape for next year. We might reuse it next year. All right, so let's start working. So the way I'm going to do this wreath is I'm going to add these extra golden picks. These are kind of like a matted gold It's not like the real bright gold, but I am going to add these pine cones that are kind of bright. They're kind of a little sparkly, just to add a little sparkle to it. In the middle, I am going to add this golden bell that I got at Hobby Lobby. I think I got this bell last year at Hobby Lobby, but I'm going to add it in the middle. And I'm also going to create some ribbon for it. Now, the wreath that I always loved, and you guys probably remember this if you've seen Home Alone, the wreath on the door in Home Alone, I always love that wreath with that Santa Claus or that St. Nicholas face. And I was going to do a St. Nicholas face in here, but I couldn't find one that would have looked good. I didn't want glass. It probably would have had been resin, but I couldn't find a good one. So I decided to use the bell instead for the middle, but we are going to make a bow, and we're probably going to weave some ribbon in here too. I'm not sure yet. You are probably going to use some floral wire and some wire cutters. Make sure you have that. And of course, I have my easy bow maker. Very important, helps you make those bows. And I think that's pretty much all the materials we're going to use for this. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my easy bow maker, and what we're going to do, I'm using this really thick ribbon. This is a pretty large wreath, so that's why I'm using this ribbon here. This is approximately 3.5 inches wide. And so we're going to start with the tail. So I'm going to do probably about a 10-inch tail. So I'm going to start with that. And what you do, you just put that in how you want. I want the red to show. So I'm going to be putting it in that way. And this is about 10 inches. Then I'm going to start making my bow over here. And we're going to be doing a few loops. So this is double-sided, and one side is red velvet and the other one is gold. And so what I'm going to do is, I want pretty much the red, and I'm going to twist it when I put it through these two poles here. I'm going to twist it because I want that red to pop up on this side. So I have, this is approximately almost 8 inches. I think that's maybe 7. Let's do 7 inches. 7 inches here. And notice I twisted it so the gold is showing here, because see how this bow is going to be when I poke it through the two rods. Look at that. So you can see how that red is going to show. And we want approximately 7 inches. So now my next one, I'm going to go probably a little bit smaller. And notice when I twisted it here in the middle, you want to make sure that that gold is showing, because we're going to make the bow on this side, put it through, twist it, and I want, like I said, about 6 inches here, since that one's 7. Twist it so the gold is showing here, and then we're gonna make the bow with the red. I like to pinch it, get it through there, and then make sure it's like that. Okay, so we're doing the same exact thing. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go a little bit smaller now. Put it through the two poles. And you want it a little bit smaller, and you're gonna twist it again where the gold is showing, and then I'm going to put the red. So I think I'm going to stop there. I think having 6 bows is good, 3 on each side. And I'm going to bring down, you want these tails here to be the same, approximately the same. So we want about 10 inches here. So I just estimate, because what we're going to do, we're going to do some ducktails at the very end. Now, one thing I want to show you about when you make your bow, and I know I showed you this in another video, but what you can do is you can poke, you get some floral wire, and you can poke it right in between the two poles, bring it back through the two poles, okay, and we're going to kind of like twist it, bring it together. All right, so when we lift this, it's all going to be together, okay. Or you could also add this ribbon and put it underneath it and tie it with that ribbon too. But today I'm going to be using this floral wire. All right, so let's lift it and show you. You can see how it is together. So see what that floral wire did? It helped it keep it together. And then all you got to do is bring it to the back and really pull it tightly because you want it to be tight there. And you can just twist it. I'm just going to twist it. And I'm just going to leave the extra for now. We can cut that off later. And because we might need the extra just to tie it onto that. And then we're going to fluff out the bows. And this is wired ribbon, of course. Very important that you use some wire ribbon. And make sure everything is fluffed out. And there you go. You got a really pretty bow that we're going to add to our wreath. All right, so now let me show you the ducktails really quick. You bring the two sides together. Make sure you cut where the sides are. And then you're going to cut at a 45-degree angle. And that's going to give you your ducktail. Once again, bring it together. You're going to cut where the sides are. 45-degree angle. And then there is your ducktail. Hopefully you can see that. All right, I love doing my ducktails. All right, or dovetails. Some people say dovetails. I don't know, I always said ducktails. So we got our bow made. Looks great. And now we're going to add it to the wreath. So with this wreath, the hook to hang it is right here on top. So I like that this wreath actually has a hook. Some don't, and you always have to create your own hook. So I'm going to put this directly at the bottom. And with that wire, that's why I'm glad I cut that wire long enough. And if your bow gets messed up during this process, it is okay. You can always fix it. And I just get my wire, and once again, you're twisting it together. You want to make sure it's tight, give it a few twists, tuck it in, and there you go. Look at that. Look how beautiful that ribbon really makes it. And I just love the little gold accents. Really pretty. All right, so we got our bow. Now what I'm going to do, we're going to start working on the rest of it. Okay, so next thing we're doing is we're getting some ribbon and we are weaving it through the evergreen, and I am kind of like pushing it together. I'm not leaving it as thick as this. I'm making it a little bit thinner. And all you have to do is get an end, leave a couple, like maybe about 3-4 inches at the end, and just tie or get some wired ribbon. Not wired ribbon, this is wired ribbon. Get some floral wire and give it a couple of twists. And then you're just gonna attach it to the evergreen. Once again, just give it a couple of twists in the back so it just holds. And there, you got some nice, beautiful ribbon. What I like to do, once again, those ducktails at the ends, I think it just makes it so much nicer. And don't forget to do 45-degree angle. And let's do the same over here. And that just makes it look a lot prettier. See, these little berries already coming off. You can tell that this is an older wreath, but that's okay. It's going to be fine for the front door. So I like how that looks going in and out of the wreath here. So I'm going to continue doing the same on the side here, and then we're going to add some of the picks. Okay, next I'm going to hang our bell. So I'm going to get the floral wire, and once again do the same thing. Give it a couple of twists. Make sure it's attached. And then we're going to just add it to the grapevine wreath. Very important that we attach it securely. And that's going to be in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add these golden picks. So this is really easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to snip a little bit off the end, and I'm just going to poke it into the grapevine wreath. See how easy this is? And just poke it through. I love how that looks there. Oh, that looks good. And then we're going to add, let's see, I think I'm going to add the pine cone over here, the bottom. Maybe one on this side for symmetry. Let's see, I don't think you could see it too well. Let me move it up a little bit. That's what's so great about these picks, you can just move it around. And let's see, should I do this on top? Let's see what I'm going to put on top. It really helps to add it to your door so you can see exactly what is it going to look like, and you can reposition things. I love how that looks. Doesn't it look pretty? I think it looks so much better now than it did just before, just with the red berries on it. And then of course the bell is hanging in the middle, and I got these golden picks that I just think bring another dimension to the wreath. And oh, I just love how that looks. I think I'm going to move this pine cone up a little bit more. Okay, right about there so you can see it. Look at that. That looks so good. This ribbon I think is a little off, so I'm going to put it back here, tuck it in a little bit, and just move it around, and that's all. But look at that. How the ribbon is going throughout the wreath. And I just love how it looks. Just fluff up your bow. And I love it. It looks so good. And like I said, since it's wired, you can position these, or it's very movable. So just kind of like have it dangling towards the bottom there. Oh yeah, that is it, people. Love it. Well, I think it turned out awesome. I love how the red ribbon is kind of going through the wreath, and the bell there, it looks great in the middle. Those gold accents with the gold picks and the gold pine cones. And of course the bow looks so pretty, looks great on it. So hopefully you got a couple of ideas and enjoyed our little wreath making today. Remember, taking something that's old and making it new again. That's what it's all about. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, then you need to subscribe. And please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye, and Merry Christmas.